Okay, let me share the screen.
I don't know if you're going to be able to share because I'm also sharing audio. We can try.
Okay, when will I get the Junkies?
Your audio is a little low right now, so I can't hear you too much. So I don't know if something changed.
Okay, I'm live now, and I just wanted to let you know. And I'm trying to share the screen with the Zoom, but it's not doing it the way I want it to.
You can try again if you like.
Okay. They can hear you though, so that's all that matters. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So I'm going to have you just turn up or maybe move closer to the mic just because you are sounding quite far away now.
One last thing. I got to get my charger. I'm so sorry. I don't want the computer to go out. Hold on. Okay, I'm ready. Can you hear me better?
It's a little low, so I'm not quite sure what kind of changed on the audio there, but
let me turn it up, see if I can turn it up. Can you hear me better now?
It's still a little low, but I'm sure it'll be fine.
I'm so sorry about that.
That's okay. No worries at all. Are you ready, Kimberly? Yes. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. All right, welcome everyone to Music Junkies. I'm your host, Annette Smith, and our guest today is all the way from Washington, D.C. She's going to be the next state senator. We know it. She's 39. She has a bachelor's degree. She is beautiful. I love your hair today. I love it. She's charismatic. She does a podcast as well. So please welcome Kimberly Michelle Cloud to the show. Welcome, Kimberly.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
It's so nice to have you. So before I get started, what was your experience putting together your playlist for me today?
Well, I just went down the experiences of my life and what favorite music videos, watching, just sitting in the front of the television watching MTV and all those great shows back in the day. And I would be flooded. We would be here 2 hours if I can go over every single song. I love music.
I love music too. And I miss MTV.
Yes, me too.
I really miss MTV. That was like the best show to obviously wait for your favorite video to come on. But in between, you got to learn all this more really awesome music that you were like, this is amazing. And I think anybody back then could have did a music video.
Yes, I agree.
All right, we're going to get started on your first song. Are you ready?
Yes.
Perfect. Beat Me, 911.
Yes.
Missy Elliott.
I remember that song. I was 12 years old, and a lot of new artists was coming out, and Timberland, Missy, and Aaliyah, and 702 and Player. They were all together, and they sat up there, and she created that video with 702, and it was such a wonderfully good, like, made video. And she, to be honest, she's like heavy set during that time, and I'm like, she dances so well. She always was in those videos putting forth effort, because you hear of somebody that's overweight and you say, oh, they can't do this, they can't do that, they're limited. But she put her all, and that's what drew me to her, because I used to be overweight. And I loved that video. I loved it.
I love it. It's like I like that you said that, because a lot of people do believe that if you are overweight, you can't do certain things. But really what I find is I always find like the more heavier set people are, I feel like they can move way better.
I agree.
Than us skinny bitches out there for sure.
Oh, let me get off of LinkedIn. Yes, I understand.
Right? Like, look at Chris Farley. He's like doing somersaults and like all out of control. Like, I love that stuff.
Yes.
So I don't think it matters what size you are. You just have to be energetic and ready to go after it and have some fun. So tell me about you wanting to run in for state senate.
Senator, well, I talked to the director and we came to an agreement because he told me that he defined state senator, he defined city councilwoman. We looked at our district or my district and looked around, and we decided that I was going to run for a city councilwoman. I apologize for that mistake. I was promoting state senator, but now it's going to be city councilwoman, and that's going to be either this year or for next year. He said he shot me a text actually yesterday, and he's very busy, and he told me that we will be it will be possibly this year, but he want to make sure. So we're going to meet again at the end of this month to go over campaigning and all that good stuff. I can't wait to get into the campaigning part.
I bet. What are some things that you feel like if you could wave a magic wand, what are two things that you would change immediately with no hesitation?
Building the wall and getting, because we already have volunteer amongst like people that commit crimes. We don't need more people coming over committing more crimes, extenuating the crimes. So I would take all the criminals and put them on another planet and let it be beautiful here in America, so we can walk to the store without having to worry about a gun or a knife or a mace. Like seriously.
Yeah. Is there a lot of crime in Washington?
Yes, it's 8 million people here to 8,000 police officers. Yes.
Oh, whoa.
Yes.
Wow, that's crazy. I'm in Canada, so obviously it's a little bit different.
Yes.
So if I'm in Calgary, there's maybe 3 million people in Calgary. That might be really high, around that 2 point whatever million. I would say there's maybe, a crime like murder or something like that. I rarely hear it. Maybe once every 6 months. Probably not the case. Obviously in America, obviously a lot more people, right? It's just more people. That's really all it is.
I hate to tell you this, they're migrating to Canada too, because I have a story behind it. Real quick, under 1 minute, I went to the Canadian border twice. I went to two stations, two different places, two different customs places, and the first place I went to, he said we can invite you in, but you'll be a refugee and you'll be amongst the whole entire population. And I declined at first, but then I was going through a lot of stuff, so I walked 10 miles, I kid you not. And I had caught blisters and everything in my foot. And I got to the customs border, and he was like, do you have a passport? I said, no. He's like, you have a 0 probability of getting in here. So when I went back in the building, it was so many immigrants coming in. And I was like, I was so mad. I was enraged. And they walked me back to the U.S. Customs. And I was so mad. It was funny, but it was for the best. I want to go to visit Canada. Yes, I love Canada. I've read about Canada, limited crime and all that good stuff. I probably end up trying to move there like within the next 3 to 4 years, because it's just and do radio or something. It would be pretty cool. It's a nice place. Very nice.
I've never been to Washington. I've always wanted to go. I've been to many states in the US, but I haven't been to Washington yet. But it is on my bucket list. It is a place that I want to kind of go and see and check out. Obviously your guys's presidency to our prime minister kind of stuff It's all kind of crazy, right? You guys got your crazy side of it. We got our crazy side of it. I think a lot of people want to get rid of both of them, so we have that probably in common.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. All right, your next song.
With the lonely culture, lay. You're back with the Berlin culture, lay.
All right, Gwen Stefani, wind it up.
I love it because like anything with Pharrell is a hit song. And Gwen Stefani, 4 a.m., Wind It Up, Why You Make Me Like You, like so like, and when she was in No Doubt, it was just all her songs are hit songs. Like you cannot doubt that, no doubt. And she has a style about her from Bananas. This is Bananas. Like she knows how to sing. She knows how to rap. She knows how to collaborate. She's very diversified. She like Japanese, all races, and that's what I like about her. And what else? She bees herself, and I felt so bad when her husband cheated on her with the maid. I've been watching her, and she has a show that she be on. I forgot the show name, but I think she's off of that show now. But yeah, she's a wonderful lady and powerful, and I like her a lot.
Yeah. So take the cheating side outside of it. Would you rather date Gavin Rosedale or Blake Shelton? Which one would you rather?
Because he's been treating her 100% the correct way.
Yeah, they were just in Calgary on Saturday.
Really?
And she came out and she sang some songs. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm her number one fan. Like I have to be one of her number one fans because I know all her songs. I can't name them all, but like I will go down the list, like from No Doubt, like her beats are so hypnotic. Like I don't know, it's something. She put her all. The whole band put their all into their craft when they made those songs. Like seriously.
Yeah, and I think she's not just a credible artist, but she's an amazing designer, right? She's utilized that money to go and make profit in other ventures, and I think that is a strong woman, and I appreciate her for doing that. So when you were growing up, what was something that you wanted to become? Was it a state senator? Was that like on your list of, hey, when I grow up, that's what I want to be? Or what did you want to be when you grew up?
Well, all I liked doing with my sister was singing. We would sing so many songs, and I just kept singing. I always used to sing all the time, and I wanted to be a singer, and I knew I was talented, but I like when I get around certain people, like negative energy, it causes me to be recluse. But I really just a singer. That's all.
Yeah. Who was inspiring you back then? What singer did you want to be like?
Madonna.
Yeah.
Yes. If I ever do get into singing, I commend her. She's very she's older and she's able to dance. Like she danced way better than me, and she has charm, charisma, everything. And I loved her songs. I used to sit and watch MTV. If I can how does it go? If I could melt your heart. That song, I loved it. It was beautiful.
I just finished reading her book and it was unreal. Like I loved how they incorporated a lot of, not just her struggles, but her triumphs as well. But it was kind of during this time in New York, this was going on and she was coming out. So she was facing this type of adversity with her music, as well as what was going on in the gay community. And she was a huge advocate for AIDS awareness. just, her story is incredible. And then the fact that she is in her 70s and just going out on tour again. Yeah, she's back on tour. She's doing another tour, which is crazy. She'll be in Vancouver, I think, in the next couple months. I think she's coming to Edmonton. Yeah, it's crazy. I think that's amazing.
Yeah, she's an awesome woman. I give it to her, man. Like, I give it to her. I loved her music since I was like 11, 12 years old. And if I ever had to get into singing, I would do her pop and rock and mixed it with a little bit of techno and R&B, sort of like a Lady Gaga. They kind of compare her to Lady Gaga, but they both have two different. I love Lady Gaga too, by the way. They both have two different distinct tones, and they both talk about the same thing, but two different sounds. They craft their different sounds.
Yeah, I agree. What were you like growing up in elementary, high school?
I was very quiet. I sat up there and I would try to do my homework. Sometimes my mother would have to do my homework for me because it was so much homework. But I learned how to do it myself eventually. But I sat up there when I was in high school. I would stay to myself. I bought a car, a 1991 Honda Accord, and I was working at Friendly's as a waitress, and I was just quiet basically. I didn't say much to nobody. I don't know why, but I felt the need to, because everybody was always getting into fights. That's why. That I have to say it. Everybody was always getting into fights, and I'm saying to myself, I don't want to fight. I was complete. I had 7 classes in high school because I was between the 9th grade education and 12th grade education. I took a test because I was homeschooled from 7th to 8th grade, and when my mother died and I went to high school, I tested out at 9th and 12th grade, and they said that I have to complete 1 year worth of 7 classes. And I was like, okay, let's do it. And I did it. And I graduated in Largo, and it was very huge, and I loved it. I really did. But I had friends, but very minimum. I was always
What was
quiet.
your biggest challenge in high school? Well, how was it being homeschooled and then coming into that environment?
Coming from North Carolina, because I'm from DC, but coming from Charlotte, North Carolina, living a very quiet life, to come into Washington, DC, going to Pentagon City on the weekends with my boyfriend and going different places with people. It was an amazing experience. It's a lot to offer in DC. I don't know how it is now, only God knows, but I used to travel a lot, and it was an amazing experience. I've been to a basketball game. I was up in the skybox. I had fun. Like my boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend, he had his father buy some tickets to the skybox because he was famous. And I was like happy about that. I really didn't watch basketball like that, but I also stayed down the street from Genuine, and I had an amazing experience working at Friendly's and getting ready to expedite and go to the military.
Is that what your father did? Was he in the military?
He was, but he turned himself on to drugs hardcore. He was on crack cocaine, and he sat up there and he turned on to drugs, and he never quit with that. And now he has dementia, and he's at a veterans. He's at Iowa Veterans State Home right now. I tried to get him closer to me, but I vowed that before he passed, I'm going to see him and start routinely seeing him. He wasn't such a good father. I had a rough life. My mother sheltered me. She let my sister run the street and my brother run the street, but she kept me indoors, and she saved me basically. And when she died, I walked in 5 minutes. The doctor pronounced her dead 5 minutes after I walked in. and I just went crazy. And that's how I started turning over to drugs. I just didn't care no more about life, but I hid it, and then I was around the wrong side of the, both of my families were actually not good and supportive at all. And I had no support from nobody. So what I did was I sought to drugs as an outlet to soothe my me being without, like, things used to happen over and over, abuse and mental abuse, and I got choked out and I passed out. He pushed me in the pool. Some person that was Caucasian saved me, and I will ever forever be indebted to a Caucasian person for that. um like, things were happening. I had a very cruel family.
Yeah, I grew, my mom was an addict, right? When I was growing up, my real father had a crack addiction as well, which is kind of crazy that you experienced that. I never really met him, maybe 4 times. My mom was addicted to heroin. My stepdad was a very heavy drinker, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as I was 18, I couldn't wait to move out of Vancouver. Like, I just wanted to get away. And I'm grateful, right? But I hear you, because sometimes I think, would things be different, right? When we grow up in this crazy environment, right? I love that you don't play victim to that. A lot of people do play the victim role of that, or they don't go and better their lives from that. And it sounds like you really did. And you should be proud of that. I'm proud of that. I don't think I'd want anything to change. It wouldn't make me a different person. I like me. I like my sassiness. I like my rawness. I like that. And I don't think I would have that if I grew up in this beautiful partridge family kind of home.
Yeah.
So it's crazy what we grow up with and what molds us, and sometimes what we feel we don't like about it ourselves. But then later on, when you get older, you're like, oh, I'm so glad I went through that.
Yeah, because the typical people that don't go through it don't understand life. Like, they get these jobs and counseling, and they don't understand a lick of nothing about counseling people that's done been through this. They just do it for the money, and they can't connect their lives to people that has been on drugs or been molested or been abused, and that's why I feel like I was a counselor, but the only thing was it just didn't cut out. I had 50 clients a month. There was a methadone clinic. I worked there 3 years and I got fired. And I was like, oh my God, it wasn't working out for me. I couldn't keep up with the 50 clients a month thing, but I'm just being honest. But I've done all drugs except knowingly done methamphetamine, and it's been twice that somebody's poisoned me with methamphetamine. One, my ex-husband poisoned me with methamphetamine. Two, a shelter poisoned me with methamphetamine. It causes me to stay up, and it causes me to act aggressive. It causes me to do things that I normally don't do. And I will say I've done all drugs: heroin, I did crack, I did cocaine, I did weed, I did ecstasy, I did the dipper, which is in DC very heavily, which is abominable fluid on a cigarette.
Oh,
I've
wow.
tried it all, but I never wanted to do methamphetamine because I heard about it, how addicting and how crazy this drug is. And what happened, I'll tell a story under 1 minute. We had met, my dad came to visit, well, stay in Hawaii when I was in Hawaii, and I was using then, and he caught what I was doing. And he sat up there and he wanted to, instead of saying, Kimmy, don't do that, he's like, I want in. I want to do drugs with y'all. So we were using like Percocets and shooting them. Like, it was hardcore. And then all of a sudden stuff started happening and it snapped me back to reality. My son had a circle, a fire engine red circle under his butt, his anus. And I took him to the doctors and they said they can't confirm or deny whether he was molested. But then I kicked my dad out. But not before. This is the methamphetamine story. My husband came home with methamphetamine and I said, I don't want it. I don't want it. And so he sat it in the medicine cabinet. And I was like, I don't want it. And so my dad wanted some. So, he shot my dad with methamphetamine, but he saved some. And then a week later, he kept it. And we flew out back to Illinois. We went back to Illinois because he was getting off the military. He got his honorable, general. He was going back to the mainland. So when we got there, he sat up there and I asked for a shot. Because he said his grandmother was passing away and she died, RIP to her. And what happened was he said that there was some morphine in a vial and we can both use it. But he has a habit of using up the drug, had a habit of using up the drugs and giving me the scraps. So I have reason to believe he gave me methamphetamine. And it caused me to stay up 3 days and go psychotic. And wow. And then fast forward, I was at the YWCA and this woman was acting crazy. She kept talking about the FBI and I was in a veteran section and they said, come back by 6. And I came back by 5:45. By 6:30, they said, your bed has been taken. Go sleep amongst the general population. And they put me right next to that woman. Now, I sat up there and my tincture, I was smoking and using weed, medicinal marijuana tincture, which is oil that goes underneath your tongue. And I have reason to believe she put methamphetamine in that. And this was a setup because of politics reason. And I don't want to get too deep into it, but anybody that talk about the FBI, I've called the FBI over 40 times about legit issues. 2 of the issues that I called the FBI about got on the news, which was card skimming and cell phone charging, like charging stations at the airport where you plug your phone into a charger at the airport and they take 20% of your information because it's a setup. So they talked about this on the news, the FBI, and I called them every time something isn't legit and the police has been having problems. I called them at a Walmart. I was the first person to call them almost because I called them at a Walmart because they kept wanting to swipe my card 3 times and then they create new cards off of that. So that was dangerous. And I didn't have that much money. I was all the way in Ketchikan, Alaska when that happened. But yeah, like I don't trust. I want to get methamphetamine off the street. That's why I shared my story. I'm tired of people doing this to people. It's a lot of people that's getting poisoned with this stuff.
Yeah, I agree. Nanaimo, where I grew up with, is, the drug and crime capital of, really of Canada. So it's bad, right? The drug use, fentanyl use here in Alberta is pretty high as well as Vancouver, very high. And yeah, we need to have more safe places for people that really truly want to get off drugs and go through a rehabilitation, right? So this song is gonna kind of book well.
Yeah. It might seem crazy what I'm about to say.
So I'm happy.
Yes, I'm very happy. This song, I was at Macbeth's, and when it came out, Pharrell, anything that Pharrell touched, like I gotta listen to the Miley Cyrus and Pharrell new song. I forgot what it's called, but anything Pharrell touched, from Daft Punk to like Gwen Stefani, because that beat from Wind It Up was his beat. It from Ariana Grande, Rim, or Rim. it's amazing. Like, he is an amazing person. I've been listening to Pharrell from all the way when Jay-Z and Pharrell came out with the song Frontin' with Jay-Z as a person that raps at the end, and it was an amazing song. I like diversity. He loves different cultures, and I watch him and watch him. He's an amazing character.
Yeah, it is. And it's interesting. I'm not a big fan of that song at all. I don't know what it is. When I was going to my stagette, they played it, and I was just like, no, I don't. I am happy, but I don't know what it is. It's interesting how some songs rub you a certain way, and other people can absolutely love this song. I think maybe it's just because it's attached to like a kid's show, right? Despicable Me, right? Mm-hmm. And my kids are grown, and I don't watch kids shows anymore. So I just think I just affiliate it with that, even though I think, so many people love that song, right? Yeah. So when you were growing up, Kimberly, what was like your very first concert you ever been to?
Wow. I can say I haven't been to a concert, but my very two movies that I love to see, I saw before, is at the movie box was Home Alone 2 Lost in New York, and Scream 2, I want to say, with Drew Barrymore. I love those two films, but I always wanted to go to a concert. I couldn't afford it, to be honest.
Yeah. Who would you want to go see? Like nowadays, who would you just like love to see in a concert?
I wanted to see this, it's a Asian play. It's an Asian, I know that sounds weird, but it's an Asian play that come on commercials, and it plays like for 4 months. And I forgot how it's pronounced, but it's like ballet. I wanted to see the Nutcracker. I wanted to see the Michael Jackson remake. It was a guy that was playing as Michael Jackson, doing all his dance moves. Those are the type of stuff I like to see.
Is there a big music scene in Washington, D.C.? Like lots of artists, lots of concerts in Washington?
Yes, there are.
I could see that.
A lot. Yes.
And lots of different scenes, like a punk scene, kind of a R&B scene, a pop scene.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. What's the main strip called that if somebody was going to go to Washington, you would direct them to go where?
The Font Circle, I think, or the train station in DC. I forgot. I haven't been in a while, but yeah, the train station and the Font Circle. And the reason why I say the Font Circle is, I hope I'm pronouncing it right to my DCNs. The reason why I say that is because it's gay people that go there. So if you're gay and you want to see the gay life, it's amazing. Like I experienced so much because I used to be bisexual, going there with my friend. We used to go everywhere. I used to buy her clothes, and she used to help me out, like it was amazing, man. Like, and then it's a train, and then Uptown DC, where they made what's that movie called? Not Poltergeist, but the possession movie, the first possession movie.
Like The Exorcist?
Yeah. You hit the nail on the nose. Uptown DC, they have that area where the long steps, and it's a lot of diverse. They go there with their cars and they rev them up at night. So Uptown DC is wonderful. Yes.
I love it. That's awesome. And I love this next artist. She's amazing. Lady Gaga.
That is, like, I listen to her all the time. It's not a day go by. I listen to her at least once a day. She done came a long way. And this song here, when it first came out, it was in 2015 or 16. And when it came out, I would just listen to it constantly over. And I watched the video. I watched her Judas video. I watched her Alejandro, even though I always watch the negative videos that people do because they are artistic. Like, I'm not going to inhibit myself. I'm a grown woman from watching all videos. You know, like her Judas video told a story, and this video told a story. You know, people used to be scared of her, you know, literally because of the stuff that she used to do, but I never been scared of her. I see her art. And then she came out with Joanne, and you know, I'll Never Love Again, you know, A Star Is Born. Like, those are amazing. She's worked with so many people. Lil Wayne, she's worked with so many wonderful people. Like, that's just to name one. But she's diverse, and that's what I like about her. She's honest, and she's an amazing artist. Very good.
Yeah, she is an amazing artist. I actually took my daughter to her years ago to see her perform, and it was unreal. It's nice to go to a concert that puts on a big performance instead of somebody just kind of singing in a mic. And she puts on an elaborate performance, which I absolutely love about her so much. Right? So if I was to ask you, what are some of your pet peeves, like things that drive you crazy?
Wow. When people don't listen to me, and when people try to downplay me as dumb or stupid. I am not dumb or stupid. Sometimes I'm just quiet around certain people because I'm learning them. I'm scanning them, their personality, and I'm trying to get a feel for them. And if I'm too quiet, it's because I know that you aren't the person for me to be around. So, pretty much, you know, my pet peeve is when people make me feel dumb and stupid.
I like that you said that. That's awesome.
Yes. Yep. And I feel like
I love that you said that.
Yeah. I just I can't help it. Certain people make me feel stupid. So when they reflect stupid on me, I tend to act stupid, and I don't like being around people like that. That's how I feel.
Yeah. I like that you said you scan people.
Yes, I do.
And you're quiet, and you're just waiting. You know, I have a pretty abrupt and raw personality. And if I meet somebody and they're like an A-type personality too, I always am very interested to see where the conflict will lie, right? Like, because I'm like very humorous, and because I'm, you know, abrupt, some people are like, whoa, and they kind of take my humor a wrong way. Or, you know, I just had this experience like literally 2 days ago. I had an 80s birthday party, and my girlfriend brought her friend, and she's very A-type personality. And they came in fairly wasted, right? And we were still pretty sober. There was a lot of kind of underlining messages I was kind of hearing just kind of with her, with other people. And so when I finally got a chance to like have a conversation with her, and we were kind of bantering back and forth, it was almost like this weird little cockfight in a sense, you know what I mean? Like, we're establishing domination, but it wasn't even like that. It was like, and then after I was like, oh, did you like hours later, I said to her, did you experience what I experienced with you? Like this kind of whole talking, underlining, dominating each other. And she's like, totally, that was really, really weird. And she goes, that's how I knew that we could be friends. And I go, you know, it's funny because that's how I know that we could be friends too, because one, you didn't back down. Two, you said how you feel. And I like that. I love people that speak their mind. I don't like for me, it's hard for me to be around very meek people because I'm abrasive. So I always feel like I'm hurting their feelings, and I don't want to be around people that I feel like I'm hurting their feelings or they can't speak their mind. I want people to be themselves around me. I never judge. So nothing ever scares me or you sharing your story, and I don't know how many times you shared your story. But I'm sure you've maybe have felt, oh, I'm not going to share my story to these types of people. I don't want to be judged by these types of people. I know I have, I had a crazy upbringing. I know that I get nervous about sharing my stories, but I always know who's going to be my friend because of that, because I'm not really a superficial friend. I'm a deep friend. I don't really want to go and learn the weather with you. I want to go find out what you were doing at 12 years old, and did you sneak out of the house, and like I want like some depth to you. I like that kind of stuff. So I love that it's your pet peeve. That's amazing. That's amazing. How about your biggest fear? Do you have something that you're afraid of, or something maybe that you were afraid of and you overcame?
My biggest fear, it used to be wow, uh, I don't have a fear per se. I love talking around people. I love talking amongst the audience. But my fight or flight, and it's another word to it that they added, gets in the way only because of how I was raised and mistreated. They always undercutted me as a child. And not my mother, but everyone else undercutted me and thought I was slow. And so I now, when I speak amongst a large audience, um it's hard for me to talk because in my back of my mind, in my unconscious, subconscious, and conscious mind, I'm thinking, oh, are they going to like me? But you shouldn't care about that. I've spoken at the Republican Party because I ran for U.S. Senate in Santa Maria as a write-in, and I spoke amongst them, and they were happy with that. But when I was at the Chamber of Commerce, I was so nervous because the fight or flight was in. And California is pretty hard people. These are people with a lot of money, trying to hear a woman that's struggling, trying to make it to a lot of money. I don't ever want to be in poverty again. And I think I did pretty good. I'm doing pretty good here right now. But these are people, hardcore people with money that want to hear what I have to sell. And in my mind, I was thinking, oh, are they gonna like me? So I was stuttering, and it was like 50 people in the room. And now I'm like, okay, I don't care no more. I may stutter in the beginning, but you just got to keep going. That's my biggest fear. My biggest fear, real quick, is fearing that I will fear something that I shouldn't fear, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it totally does. Absolutely. I think when you conquer it, you're not afraid of it anymore. Yes. You're like, oh, that wasn't that bad. So absolutely makes sense. I love it. All right. So Nicki Minaj, I love her. If I can get it to play. What's happening here? Since my internet is unstable, let's see what's happening here.
Take your time. You done wonderful.
Oh, weird. I wonder why this isn't playing. Oh, you look like you're frozen.
Oh, I'm frozen? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Are you still there, Kimberly?
Yes, I'm here. Uh-oh. She left, but she's probably going to come back. Hold on, y'all.
Weird.
Yes.
Hi.
Hey.
Now it's playing everything.
Pills and potions. With perfect person. I'm angry, but
Sorry, let's try again. That was really bizarre.
That's okay.
Thank God I have an editor. He'll be able to edit that. All right, next song.
Pills and potions. With perfect
All right, Nicki Minaj, Pills and Potions.
This was in 2016, 17. I still listen to her, you know, some of her music.
Recording in progress.
Sorry, it's just re-recording because it stopped there.
It's okay. Nicki Minaj, Pills and Potions. It was 2016. She went from party to kind of like dark music with Lil Wayne. But in the contrary, I listen to her music because this is her life. This is what she wants us to hear that she does, you know, and I feel like, you know, this is her life, just like Doja Cat and the rest of them. It's her life. And she came a long way, and she's still talented, you know, very beautiful, very eccentric. And, you know, a lot of new women rappers out there are trying to take over her spot, and because she done gotten a little older. And I feel like she should still stick with rapping because she still is a lyrical genius.
Yeah, I love Nicki Minaj. She's awesome.
She is a wonderful person, you know. She had a kid, you know. I don't know the story behind her husband. Nobody knows, you know. Only the media puts out what it puts out. Nobody was there to see what he did, you know. It's only on record. Like, I've been to jail, and nobody has told me or put on record that I was under the influence of methamphetamine. So it just looked like I randomly, knowingly, and without, you know, psychosis of this medicine or of this drug, assaulted somebody. And I did not do it the way it is said to have been done.
How long were you in prison from it?
I wasn't in prison. I was in jail for like 8-9 months, and I took a plea deal. And nobody put nothing on my books. I didn't call nobody for the whole 8 months. I was under dire cold conditions. The water was terrible. The staff was terrible. You know, a lot of things happened in there that I cannot talk about.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yes.
It's like you should write a book.
Yes, I am.
All right, next song. Drake, Passion Fruit.
Yes, that's an amazing song. When he came out with that, I thought he was talking about Nicki. It's a lot of artists that use people like, I go from Blow with Beyonce. Beyonce created a song called Blow, and she had a guy in there that looked like Jay-Z. And then there was another song with Nicki Minaj. I forgot the exact song, but she had a song with somebody that looked like Lil Wayne. But with Passion Fruit, Drake, he at the end, he had somebody that sounds like Nicki, because him and Nicki had a mini, or probably a lot of a big relationship, and everybody knew he loved Nicki, you know. And at the end, you know, it made me cry. That video, you know, it's no video to it, it's just a song, but it just made me cry because, you know, it was a sad song. I hate to see some artists get into it, you know, truly, you know.
Yeah. Do you like to dance?
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing to do?
I just, you know, like I do my own choreographing. Like I just do what I feel like doing, like in a ways, like, you know, I do a rockabout dance, or I do a shoulder type dance, you know. It doesn't, it's what I feel the beat. Like, that's why I love music. I may not be able to play the best instruments. Like back in the day, I played the violin and the cello, and I kind of can play the piano. I want to play the flute. I want to get into so much music. I don't want to become a musician no more. No, but I want to learn because it's good for the brain. It's good. I want to actually, if I did get into music, like I said, pop, but I want to create a music genre or some type of genre where get into, I'm pretty sure they have it, where it changes the chemistry of the brain. I want to work on the brain, like getting smarter with the music, that if I decide to make music, you can make music to create a smarter brain, healthier brain.
I agree. It's awesome. Why did you pick the cello and violin to start?
I loved it, and I had the best teacher, and I could hear music, but I can't read music, just like drumline. And if I hear a beat or see somebody, the way they curve their fingers into the violin, like F, G, E, and all of that, I can mimic what they do. But I didn't. I should have learned the sheet music, but I didn't. And by the time I got to middle school, it phased out because this was a hardcore school. This was Southeast Charlotte middle school, and they can all read music. And I was with the cello, and the songs that they played stuck with me, but I couldn't read the music. And so I just decided to drop out.
Wow. So tell me a little bit about your podcast. What's it called? How did it get started?
It started December 7th, 2021. And pretty much it talks about the past, present, and future of people's lives. And that's so generic, but it's so powerful because that's stuff that doctors talk about: the past events, the present events, and the future events. I'm not a doctor. I don't want to be a doctor, but I love to learn about people past, because everybody has a past, even those in middle class and upper class. I'm supposed to have Will Roberts on the show, famous actor Will Roberts, on the show tomorrow, hopefully, if he's not too busy. But I won't get mad if he don't show up, but I still promoted him, seriously, because, some actors be busy. It's the, Grammys and or Oscars or the nominees. It's this going on, and he's a busy guy, but I promoted him. I do know that I have his personal number. I have his email address. We done talked over the phone, and he's an amazing character.
Yeah. What's your favorite movie?
Wow.
Do you have one that you watch over and over? If you don't know what to watch, that's your go-to movie?
Yes. I say it has to be a comedy that I would watch, and it was Brothers with Will Ferrell. He was like, I have to mimic what he said. He was like, I'm gonna put my nutsack on your jumps.
Brothers, yeah, that's an awesome
so
show,
funny. Yeah, they're crazy.
Yeah, I love that. That's so awesome. That's one of my favorite shows too. I love it. Can't go wrong with Will Ferrell. All right, next song. Post Malone, Circles.
Yeah, I cried to this song too because I was going through a separation from my husband. Because what happened was I was the CEO of Blue Cloud Cleaning Company, LLC, and he just managed to sleep with my employee and get her pregnant. And I was like, and so this song reminded me of the times we had a big white house with abundant deer and black bear, and and I seen a skunk before. It was beautiful house. And under 1 minute, because I know we're getting down to the crunch time, but my neighbor was Marty Kaiser, and he was the one that they made Enemy of the State about. Two of the characters, Will Smith and the other guy, was about him. That was my neighbor. And I appreciated being there. I loved it there, but I had to give up the house and give up my Traverse, my 2022 Traverse, and give up my Chevrolet Malibu, And it was just crazy. I had to give up everything because he wouldn't act right. And he came, what really sparked separation was I was in a car and he took over an hour to come to the car. Like I was his magnet, his woman magnet. I'm not going to say the word I want to say, but I was his woman magnet where women would try to have sex with him because I was with him. And, he came in a car and he had a hickey on his neck. And I even took a picture of it. I had plenty of pictures, and they even confirmed, my workers, my employees, that he slept with this woman, my employee. And I was just flabbergasted. I was like, it's not me, it's him. He was a cheater. He was a dog, and he had it so well. I knew him since 2013, 2014, and he hid it so well. He was so
Did you
smart.
find out like multiple people?
Multiple people. I went through his phone. I got on top of him and I straddled him for his phone, and I made him open up a Google app that had a two-part encryption. And what I saw was terrible. I seen kitty porn. I seen pictures of women. I called the FBI about it. No relief, probably. And I didn't talk about it. The only reason I knew it was kitty porn was because I saw a week prior to that, I saw a Law and Order episode about how they take pixels and create an image. And you just, if I hadn't watched Law and Order, I just thought it was an image. But he had pictures of women naked and non-naked. It was terrible, man. Like, really, I couldn't take it.
How did you find out she was pregnant?
She didn't want to confirm it, but I looked on her page, I'll admit, and she was like confirming, because she asked me in the beginning, she was like, can I be a surrogate mother to your child? Because I didn't want to have a child by him. Something kept telling me not to have a child by him. And I was like, no, why would you ask me that? She was a young bumpkin, 10 years, like almost 15 years his senior. And so what happened was, her friend confirmed that she slept with him, but then she ended up 4 months pregnant later on her page showing her belly. And I'm like, okay, I put two and two together. He probably paid her to have his child, or he's with her. And he was in Drums, PA before I was. He picked out this place for us. He picked out the place. I didn't pick out where we was going to go. He did. Wow. Because he knew some of the women that were there all of a sudden. Like, if you go to his page, he got over 100 women that, whether fake or not, saying, hey baby, call me. And this was during our time that we were together.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how long have you been divorced now?
I've been divorced for I'm working on the divorce thing, like, to be honest, like, I'm not fully divorced, but the only reason I'm never going back to him, but I stick with the fact that I'm separated because I have a military card that I can do anything I want on post. And I'm trying to work on getting my own military card, because once I get my own military card, I'm divorcing him. But until then, I have every right to be on post doing whatever I need to do. I'm just being honest.
That's awesome. Hey, why not use it, right?
Exactly.
Like, obviously he's overusing his stuff for sure. All right, we're on your last song and we're going to end with Madonna. You ready? Crazy, Borderline, right? Yes. One of her very first hits ever, which is amazing song, great song. And it's really one of the only songs that she will continue to play in concert, which is interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
When I sat up there and was going through what I was going through with my husband, I would plug in Alexa and say, Alexa, play Madonna. And they would play the hits over and over of Madonna. And I love that song. Like, seriously. My favorite song by her was Time Goes By So Slowly. one of my favorite songs. I forgot. She hit a high note, and it was just so beautiful. Like, she's so talented. I love Madonna, and this song I used to listen to in my house when I get ready for work.
I love it. So, Kimberly, where can we find your podcast? What do you have going on over the next, call it 3 to 6 months going on in your life?
Well, I'm going to keep interviewing people, and you can find me at Facebook, The Kimberly Cloud Show 39, Instagram, The Kimberly Cloud Show 39, LinkedIn, The Kimberly Cloud Show, YouTube, The Kimberly Cloud Show 39, Rumble, The Kimberly Cloud Show 39. And you can email me at the Kimberly Cloud Show at Yahoo, and you can also call me at 253-304-6990 if you want to do a show with me.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for joining us today on Music Junkies. But before I let you go, I would love to hear some words of wisdom that you would like to leave our guests today.
Well, just keep striving to move forward. I done been through a lot. And, I don't let that hinder where I want to be. I've been in jail. I've been through a lot of detrimental stuff. And I'll say that that's not going to be who I die as. I'm going to be somebody, an inventor, an entrepreneur, a CEO that had almost 4 companies. And I'm going to live with the Kimberly Cloud Show LLC and run, even if I don't win, run for city council and keep in contact with the FBI and CIA, so that if anything happens, all this crime going on, that they know what's going on in our community and they need to make a stop to it.
I agree. Well, thank you again, Kimberly, for joining us today. I appreciate you. Please like, follow, subscribe to all of her stuff. Give her a call, join her on her podcast. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Recording stopped.
Awesome. Awesome job, Kimberly. Thank you for being so honest and open and sharing your stories. Like, we need more people to do that, right? Awareness is so cool. And I love when that kind of stuff comes out of my podcast, because it just shows that, music is always such a big impact for people in every area of their life. But I appreciate you sharing those types of stories for sure.
Thank you. Do you know when it will post to the Google platform?
Well, I'm gonna run it today, and I'll probably send it to my editor today. Just, we had that little glitch, so I just want to make sure everything is good. And if it's not, then I might be saying, hey, we got to jump on and do it again, because I don't like that it stopped in the middle. I've never had that before, so that's really strange. I don't know if they were doing something out there in the world, but so if not, if everything is good and he can just kind of piece that together, then I will. I think you're only 3 episodes, so probably in the next 3 weeks.
That's fine. Thank you.
Yeah. And I'll be sending you it too, so you can go cut it and make it all the little clips that you want to make out of it as well.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Take care.
Well, have a great day, and I'll let you know how this conspires over the next, call it, couple days here. I'll know as soon as it downloads.
Take care. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye.
Okay, that's what's going on in my life, if you wanted to know. A lot of people don't know what's conspired. And, like I said, even if I don't win, I ran, and I'm going to work hard and diligently at running and trying to be the best copy of myself that I am, seriously, it's a lot, man. It's a lot that I've been through, and I don't let that hinder me. And the Kimberly Cloud Show, it feels good to do that show, because those songs mean a lot to me. Those artists, they created art. And I have my window open. So yeah, I hope y'all get some knowledge and say, hey, some of y'all probably like, hey, I never been through that. Some people like, dang, I hope I had y'all laughing when he said, I'm gonna put my bleep on your jump set. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna try to reach out to Kate and see if she want to do an episode. And that's basically it. The music junkies, man. Annette, like seriously, thank you. Canada.